Yo, welcome back. Uncensored Locks, Black Convo.
G baby.
Another beautiful day. Thank God for another day. Hairstyle done by her.
No, I'm not taking
If
credit.
it looks retarded, all G baby.
I'm not taking credit for
Listen, today I have so much more appreciation for not having a baby girl. I seen this video of this. Let me give you a little background behind it. I guess he went to go get his child's hair done.
Yeah, he took her to get her hair done and then dropped her off
To the baby mama.
To the mom.
Right.
And he recorded the drive to the house
Right.
of like him talking to his daughter. We'll plug that in here. And he also recorded the interaction of him dropping off to the mom. And she basically flipped out, and you can see what happened.
My baby sitting up out there bitch crying.
I don't care. I told you stop playing
That
with me.
motherfucker cut my baby hair out of
So
head.
then,
Look at that
now
shit. That shit sad. Hurt
Now
my
what?
baby feeling.
now what?
Cause you don't hurt the dad,
I
you
don't
hurt her
care. I
feelings.
do
You
my
hurt my
own
baby
girl
feelings.
hair.
My
I do
baby
my
sat
own
there for
girl
2
hair.
hours.
I do my own girl hair.
My baby sat there for 2
Stop
hours.
playing with me.
And she just started using the scissors and literally started cutting his little girl's hair off.
Swung the scissors at the dude, if y'all saw. She swung it at the dude,
Right.
basically saying, I do my own baby's hair.
All right, and that's where the little questions arises. You feel me? Because then if there was a rule established that says, "Hey, listen, I don't want nobody to touch my baby girl's hair, but me," and he understand that rule, whatever the case is, and he still went against that. I'm not saying that's quite the punishment for the little girl, but you should expect some kind of craziness from
Well,
her. You
she
know what I'm
did
saying?
release a statement that also went public.
What?
She talked about this, basically saying for everyone who's minding her business that he knows that she has very sensitive scalp and that the Africans braid her daughter's hair way too tight.
Okay.
That when she looked at her daughter's hair, it was braid, like the scalp was pulling, and that she's the only one, and he knows this, that she's told him this before, that he does this to try her, that she's the only one that does the daughter's hair because of the sensitive scalp, and she has to braid it a certain way. She says also she is a hair braider, so why take her daughter to get her hair braided from someone else, and that he knows that she doesn't like other people's hands in her daughter's hair.
Right.
However, one, I believe that was the girl's real hair,
Right.
not weave, that you just cut off instead of just unbraiding. If you're a braider, you could have unbraided it. The only person that got hurt in that was the little girl.
Of course.
Physically, mentally, and emotionally.
All that
because
shit.
was her hair, so
All
that's
that
physical.
shit. Yeah, man.
And then she also went on to say that as a father, he's a deadbeat. He is only a father for social media. That every time that we see he posts his kids online 3 weeks ago, and with those stints in between, that's the amount of time it takes them to have any kind of contact with his kids. So she's furious that he was so comfortable to not really be a full-time dad, but then do something of that nature.
You know what this kind of brings up too? I've seen like a lot of women memes going around that says, women are crazy, men makes women crazy. I'm sure I kind of agree with that little statement a little bit.
I agree.
Real shit, because I look at certain things, right? Because if you know the woman don't like something, and you know she's very adamant about certain things, you know what I mean? Like, for example, we have a son. He has very nappy, spongy hair. When he was first born, right? Whatever the case is. And you allow your mom to go get him a haircut or some shit. And
That wasn't the plan.
and when he comes home, this nigga is bald or a low cut bald, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I was hot because at the end of the day, that wasn't the plan. I didn't ask you to cut his fucking hair off. I was super mad. But at the end of the day, I'm not gonna sit here and shun her and get mad. It was a mistake, I guess, right? But next time, you're not touching my son's hair, period. And I just feel like that's how certain things
And that's
should be.
something that's been established.
Right.
But you also have to take into account that disconnect, because obviously within that household, they're not together.
Yeah, true.
So then it comes that little like bitter spit spat
Mhm.
of like, oh well, I know this is going to get underneath her skin, but this is my kid too, so why can't I? Because now that respect of what the other parent wants kind of just goes out the window. Because now he's on that mentality of, well, why can't I? If she
Exactly.
doesn't like it, well, when I don't like things, she can still do it. So there's that kind of comes into play as well.
The moral of the story is, I just feel like the child should be in the center of everything, and I just feel like if, again, I'm a parent too. I'm not saying that her reaction was wrong. I'm just saying it's two sides of every story. You feel me? That was what she decided with her child. I'm not against that. That's her fucking child. At the end of the day, she's watching her 365 days a day. Whatever the fuck it is, it's her decision to do it with her child. I just feel like we don't need to put cameras everywhere and broadcast everything. You feel what I'm trying to say? We see it, we talking about it short, but I just look at it like that should be in a private moment. You feel me? Like, you know she was hot. You know she was angry. You knew.
See, that's why he recorded it, and that's what I'm saying. That's where the little tit for tat and
Right.
the little bitter things come into play. Because if he didn't think he was doing anything wrong, he wouldn't have recorded the drive over, which a lot of people didn't even see that video. They only saw the video
Exactly.
of
The woman.
the
Yes.
woman.
Yes.
He
yes.
wouldn't have recorded the drive over of him showing the little girl and talking about it, and he wouldn't have been recording the drop off. He knew he was going to get a reaction
Yes.
out of her.
Yes. And I feel like that's wrong. I feel like, obviously, again, he accomplished exactly what he wanted. You feel me? But then again, it put on display that we need to handle things better, especially when it comes to the child. You feel me? Even just us back and forth, whatever, cool, whatever. But when you have a child involved, I feel like it makes the situation a little bit more crazy. On the flip side, I didn't want to talk about this, but since, you know what I mean, I'm kind of feeling it a little bit. Dwayne Wade, his daughter, I don't want to mess it up. He came out with a video this week saying that his son is transitioning from a boy, obviously, to a girl. Now, I didn't want to touch this topic because I feel like I respect Dwayne Wade. I respect all human beings, not just him, but obviously he's a basketball player, a fan, played for the Miami Heat. You feel me? So it's huge respect to Dwayne Wade, and I feel like regardless of how we feel about how we raise our child, I feel like the moral of the story is he's raising his child. You feel me? I did see a meme that was funny as fuck. It said that if Dwayne Wade was broke, his son, what was it?
That he would still be married to his kid's mom,
And his son.
his son would still be a boy.
Now, it's funny, you know what I mean? But look, man,
I
it's
am
touching.
still steady on my stance when it comes to kids and transitioning. I feel like it is our job as parents to educate them, and if at an appropriate age it is still something they want, then of course I get it, the whole supporting them, that's still your kid.
Yeah.
But I got into a debate online as well in regards to this topic, because someone was basically saying, like, who does it harm? Just let them do what they want. Just let them do what they want. And in reality, it does harm, because the same way you teach a kid the difference between the sun and the moon, or the cat and the dog, or a fork and a spoon, and you correct them on those things, why do we not feel the need to correct them and let them know, like, I know this is how you feel,
Right.
but this is also what it is. This is the parts that you have. That's what makes you this.
Right.
And still educate them, because it might just be the simple facts of confusion. And not just that, because I'm sorry, our son is 4 years old and he knows nothing about sexuality.
No.
So when I see videos of a 3-year-old getting ready to transition, how can a 3-year-old know what they're going to want for the rest of their life?
Well,
Our son can
right.
want a meal, get it cooked, and no longer want it by the time it's done being
But
made.
obviously, the parents are the big push behind it. You know what I'm
Because
trying
you
to say?
support it.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with supporting it, but a lot of people say it's an appropriate age to know, understand sexuality. Now, do we bring sexuality into school at an early age to kind of teach these kids?
Why is sexuality even being something taught to kids right now?
But that's what I'm saying. When because babe, you have to understand.
Like, why can't kids just be? See, that's the
You-
biggest issue right now.
I get what you're saying, but you have to understand we live in a world of predators and people.
So teach that.
I feel like that comes with a lot of that stuff too. You feel me?
How does, not getting in a stranger's car because they can cause harm to you correlate to are you a boy or girl?
Because I feel like when it comes down to it, it's like you find someone to talk to, or you find someone to comfort in. You know what I mean? You know certain things, and maybe they might introduce you to certain things that you don't know.
There's an age that everyone is gonna go, or a phase where everyone is gonna go through that, like,
Absolutely.
I'm interested in, or what am I
the same sex,
feeling?
right.
That is when those things should be introduced. But in reality, the introduction is what's causing it now.
Because it's just like
Because now it's forcing that, well, what are you into? Before they've even gotten the time to understand that. At a young age, I didn't know the difference between liking a boy or liking a girl. I wanted friends, not boyfriends and girlfriends.
do you feel like this is something that the parents should keep under wraps? Or now I'm not saying like necessarily like not talk about it, but not necessarily broadcast it either. You feel me?
Yeah, how old is
12 years old.
Okay. So this 12-year-old is going through a life change or phase, we don't know yet. And let's say if it was a phase, and by the age of 15, he decides, I want to be a boy, right? How easy did they make it for that to happen now that they went and publicly told the entire world where their son is at? How do we know that there was a part of him that wasn't still on the fence, and because of the amount of support that was behind it, influenced the decision? And now, because of the platform that his parents have, he kind of feels like, I can't back out now. We don't know any of that because it was made public.
All right, crazy question. Because I'm not sure. I'm just asking, right? When it comes to obviously when you get of age, your gender doesn't have anything to do with your sexuality, like what you're attracted to.
Correct.
You know what I'm trying to say? It says like he's gonna be transitioning to a girl. Obviously, he's gonna start liking his same boys, I guess, right?
We don't know. Because we don't know what he likes right now. Does he like boys
and that's what I'm saying.
girls?
So with that being said,
Because he could like girls but still feel like he's a girl and want to transition to a girl that likes
do you
girls.
feel like that brings in more kind of pressure on him? You know what I'm trying to say?
He's 12 years old having to make all of these decisions right now.
And I feel like
And you're going to have
that's
some
a lot.
people in the comment section that may say things like, oh, well, he doesn't have to decide and it's okay for him to change his mind.
Okay.
I am not saying that it's not.
Right.
But I'm saying at the age of 12, the mental health that's coming
That's a
along
lot.
with
That's a lot.
that.
That's a lot
Like,
of stuff, man.
he should be dealing with that between him, his family, his friends. Like, I'm not saying hide him and shun him from
No,
the world. He can
right.
still go out and be himself. But there's no reason to publicly announce it, knowing the platform that you have on television or on Twitter or wherever. It's because being who they are, whatever they say, it's gonna get out.
But here's the flip side though. It's like people were transitioning. People are in that phase of deciding what they want to be. When they see stuff like that, it makes them more empowered to say, yeah.
And I get
Yeah,
that. So they're
I mean-
looking to him as almost like a role model
Or not saying
someone
like-
to look up to,
Or
right?
they're saying like, you know what? At the end of the day,
So who is he looking up to, and who's his role model at the age of 12? If he has to be that for everyone else.
maybe E.J. Johnson. Yeah, I mean,
But my point is, he's 12. He shouldn't have that much of pressure on him.
I don't know, man. Cause
And don't get me wrong, because I'm not saying there's anything wrong with if he wants to transition into a girl or not. I'm saying at the age he is at right now, one, if he wants to do it, it shouldn't have been made so
I
public,
ain't gonna lie,
so he
bro.
can have the chance to change.
He's a fucking jit, bro. Like,
And two-
oh my god,
It shouldn't have happened so early.
that's a lot. My dog,
Educate him, stuff like that, before.
if you worry about
But
his
at the
fucking,
age of 12, you're going to give him all types of hormones and things like that.
well, we don't know all that.
That's how the
We don't-
transition starts.
We don't know. We're just saying I didn't want to talk about it. 'Cause I respect him. Like I said, I just feel like at the end of the day, I like the support. I like the fact that he's standing behind his kid. I like the fact that
Yeah, I love that part.
I love the
because
fact-
a lot of other people could have been like, you know what?
but he's
Not
but
my
babe,
kid.
you're not gonna keep your Jedi at 12 years old though.
No, not kicking them out.
You might
but some could
disown
have
him,
treated them
yeah,
different.
absolutely. I just feel like it's about love, and I know again,
I just wish we knew a better way to show them love and still show them, hey, even though you're feeling this way, this is this, that, without being felt like, oh, you're not supporting your kid. Like there needs to be a thin line between showing them love and what's not considered support just because you're trying to guide them. Because every time I notice a parent trying to guide or lead them in a different direction, it's looked at as, oh, you're not supporting your kid. But you know what? When you're guiding your kid or leading them away from drugs and violence, then you're a great parent. So what exactly is the difference in you doing the same thing when it comes to any aspect of their life?
man, shout out to the LGBTQ plus
LGBTQ plus.
community. Listen, ain't no bashing. We want all the smoke. If you want to come, give it. We don't care. We want to learn. That's what this is about. You feel me? We want to learn. So, yo, Black Convo.
G baby.
We out. Have a blessed day.